Welcome back to Assembly Hall on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana as we prepare for the boys Class A Illinois High School Association Basketball Championship. This is for all the marbles, and two teams who've gotten here had to work for it in their semifinal games. Hello everyone, I'm Joe Passion, glad to have you back with us to tell you a little bit first, to review for you about the semifinal games. They were two great battles to allow Seneca High School against Pittsfield for this Class A Boys Basketball Championship. For Seneca, and they played the early game on Saturday morning, they knocked off McLeansboro 52-42 to up the Fighting Irish's record now to 27-4 on the season. Now the Irish are out of LaSalle County. It's about 75 miles southwest of Chicago. They had to fight through the very difficult Interstate 8 conference, and they will take on a Pittsfield team that's had some difficulties as well. Let's first look at some of the highlights from that Seneca-McLeansboro game. First off, the Fighting Irish are led by this man, Mark Avery. He hits from outside, he will drive inside, he passes the ball and hustles on defense. Avery, number 32, is the man you want to keep your eye on when you watch the Fighting Irish of Seneca. In fact, if he doesn't like it outside, he'll pass it off, and someone else will find a way to get it there, including Aaron Crawford, who is also a man that has great percentage from the free throw line. In that game against McLeansboro, they continue to play strong defense down low, and the Seneca Fighting Irish are proving that they can play physical down in the paint despite the lack of their size. Now, the home team here for the championship game will be Pittsfield. Now, Pittsfield is the only team of the entire tournament that got to the Elite Eight that was here last year. Pittsfield defeated Williamsville in the semifinal 42-25, and they did it with defense and the great inside play of some of their outstanding players. They have the muscle and the aggressive play to go inside and play with some of the other teams, but their go-to guy wears number 40. Down low, though, they can go on the break, and one thing they were finding Williamsville to be flat-footed. They took advantage of it, got some breaks, and set up for their shots, and as shown by these highlights, they can basically hit anywhere on the court. The Saukeys of Pittsfield, coached by Kurt Reed. Now, here's how the semifinal results brought it here to the final. Seneca over McLeansboro by 10, and Pittsfield with a romp over Williamsville, setting the table for the Illinois High School Association Class A Boys Basketball Championship. That's coming up next here from Assembly Hall, but after this word first from our network sponsor, Country Companies. The house is getting full here at Assembly Hall for the Class A Boys Basketball Championship. Let's first now turn it over to our play-by-play championship announcer, Jim Albrecht.
Thank you, Joe. Everybody's up, including yours truly, including Greg Sterick, our analyst for tonight's Class A state championship game. A drought is about to end. Seneca has never won a state championship. Pittsfield has never won a state championship. The reason why? Well, we could go into that forever. But we're going to tell you why one of these teams will win a state championship, starting, of course, with the Fighting Irish of Seneca. They rely on Mark Aubrey. He has very, very big shoulders. This afternoon, he came out in the semifinal game, went 0 for 9. He didn't say, oh my, we're going to lose. He said, I'm coming back, we're going to win. He finished with 27 points.
And 20 of those points came in the second half. When you talk about Aubrey, Aubrey's got the whole package. He's a good shooter from the outside. As you see right there, he can drain the three from long range. Aubrey can also do it on the penetration. He's a good scorer from outside. He's a slasher. He's a scorer, likes to take it inside. Little stop there, look down. He said, I'm behind the three-point line. Let me light it up one more time. And as you can see it, he can really shoot it from the outside, Mark Aubrey. Aubrey, once again, just sets up, spots up, long range. This guy can dial it up from anywhere on the floor from long range.
So much is said about this game, so very much, that sometimes it's hard to remember that there is, in fact, a game. We talked to Doug Evans about the reality of the clock in the floor.
Well, just that we can come out and play with a lot of intensity on defense and try to get our offense off to a good start. We haven't had a good start since we've been up here, and we just like to really get hitting all cylinders at the start of the game. So hopefully it's not so tight in the second half for us.
Of course, Pittsfield is here behind a couple of people. Mr. Baker, their All-Stater, two-time All-Stater. Everybody talks about him. But we have been watching this tournament, and we have seen the beauty of Brian Fiesel. He makes it go.
Well, Fiesel's the glue in the backcourt. Baker gets all the attention, but Fiesel can really light to him, too. He's had 29 points and 9 assists in 2 ball games here at the Assembly Hall. They go to him. He's a leader of the ball club. Spots up there. He can also shoot it from outside. He's a penetrator. He really runs the show. He's the leader of the Pittsfield Ball Club in the backcourt.
I've got to ask you, Greg, there seems to be no clear-cut favorite here. This is anybody, truly anybody's basketball game.
Oh, I completely agree with you. There's not either ball club is a favorite in the ball game tonight, so it ought to be a good one. They both got marquee players. It ought to be a good one. The stage is set. One of these ball clubs is going to come out the champion of the Class A tournament.
Well, I can't wait. You won't have long to wait either. We're going to pause for this from one of your network sponsors, the Toyota dealers of Illinois. A state championship is starting to unfold. Here are the players who will make it happen. Compliments of your public address announcer, Steve Adams.
Introducing the starting lineups for tonight's Class A state championship game, featuring the Saukeys of Pittsfield High School, entering this game with a record of 27-6, and the Fighting Irish of Seneca, entering this game with a record of 27-4. At forward for Pittsfield, a 6'5" senior, number 40, Tony Baker. At forward for Seneca, a 6'4" senior, number 44, Jason Burton. At the other forward for the Saukeys, a 6'2" sophomore, 45, Jamie Sweeting. At the other forward for the Fighting Irish, a 6'2" senior, number 20, Aaron Crawford. At center for Pittsfield, a 6'2" senior, 54, David Fox. And at center for Seneca, a 6'4" junior, number 50, Brett Larson. At one of the guards for Pittsfield, a 6'1" senior, 24, David Marable. And at one of the guards for Seneca, a 5'10" junior, number 42, Jason Aubrey. At the other guard for the Saukeys, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Brian Fiesel. And at the other guard for the Fighting Irish, a 6'2" senior, 32, Mark Aubrey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the coaches. First for Pittsfield, assistant coaches Steve Rylander and Bruce Everett, and the head coach in his 15th season, David Bennett. And now for Seneca, assistant coaches Joe Robinson, Gordy Kirkman, and Kurt Houchin, and the head coach in his 8th season, Doug Evans.
Tonight's officials, Randy Cox, Robert Martin will call it, and the dream game for these kids is just about set to get underway. One of your network sponsors is Sibagagi. Every shot will be crucial. Every minute will be crucial, including the opening minutes, and we talked about those minutes with Coach Dave Bennett of Pittsfield.
Well, we've got to try and contain 32 and hope that we can keep them off the offensive boards. Got to get some good execution, recognize their defense, and execute offensively accordingly, and hope the game doesn't get too physical.
Some things to keep in mind. Pittsfield has been here before, of course, never winning it. Seneca,
First state final appearance. The girls finished second in the state this year.
Jason Burton will jump it up with the All-Stater, Tony Baker, and the 1991 State A championship game is now underway. Back to Brian Fiesel. Keep your eye on him. He finds every angle on the court, and he'll take advantage of it. Down low it goes to Fox. The first 2 points of the game are on the board.
Good start by Pittsfield, able to take it down low, and they found Fox. He responded with a 2-pointer. Pittsfield showing some man-to-man pressure, but they've extended their defense, and the guy that gets the tough assignment is going to be Maribel, as he's going to be checking Mark Aubrey.
He played some good defense this afternoon in the semifinal. We'll get you familiar with these players. With the basketball is Aaron Crawford, number 20. He has some problems out front as Jamie Sweeting got a hand on it. And now he's going to wait for help from Mark Aubrey, Mr. Everything for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, Aubrey's got the whole package. He's got the quickness, he's got the jumping ability, he's got the nice stroke also from outside.
Number 50 who just passed the ball, that is Brett Larson, the center for Seneca. You won't see a lot of big bodies out there, just big hearts. Aubrey, count it. A 3.
That was a jumper right there, but there was a switch on that particular play, and Sweeting had to come out and check Aubrey as Maribel was rubbed off on a pick, and it's a very alert play that time by Mark Aubrey. A good start as he sticks one from long range to get his ball club off to an early start.
Talk about your confidence builders. 2 shots, 2 nets.
That helps too if you knock down that 3 like Aubrey did. As we saw him start in the semifinals, he was very cold from the floor, 0 of 9.
Speaking of first, the first turnover as Sweeting tried to hit Fox coming out on the high post. Didn't happen there. You see Doug Evans in his 8th year, 116 wins, 88 losses. Keep in mind, Seneca 4 years ago, their record 0-22. Talk about rebuilding.
Turn around.
All the way around.
Oh, speaking
Aubrey
of
with the move, it's not there. Rebound comes down to Tony Baker. Aubrey left his man in the dust. That's what I'm talking about with Fiesel, but he got it too high off the glass that time, and coming down with it was Larson. We're just underway. Crawford likes to take that set shot from beyond the arc, but he needs about a second to get it done. Otherwise, he'll pass it up as he just did. Aubrey rarely passes up anything, although this time he tried to get it down inside to Burton, and the pass was knocked away. Check that Fighting Irish defense for us.
Well, they're in a man-to-man defense. It's what they've played most of the tournament. They'll play a pretty tough man-to-man. And on the players, they need to get up and really get the pressure on. They'll really get up tight on them. But then when they get that chance, like Aubrey's playing on Maribel, he'll just slide off and fall into that lane area so he can give some real good weak side help defense. So he's just giving the shot right there to Maribel so he can slide back on the inside. And Aubrey also does a good job going to the glass.
Baker, too much iron, tipped out of bounds. It looked like Fiesel got it, and he did. So we'll come the other way as Seneca has the ball and the lead by 1.
Looks like Baker's really struggling with his shot. After he missed that shot, he was wide open and came away a little frustration, shaking the head. You know, he's such a good player. You can't have any frustration when that shot's not going. You got to have so much confidence that you'll just come right back. If you miss 5 in a row, you're going to make 5 in a row.
This is Aubrey again, and this one's a little too low, but Larson is there, back up and in. Brett Larson got the rebound and got the glass.
Good offensive rebound that time by Larson. Sometimes your best offense when you go to the boards like Larson does, when he goes up from the outside, crash the offensive glass.
Good defensive pressure in the back court. And flying out at us is Jason Aubrey, and the brothers help each other up. We're pausing for a timeout. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
Not only for small school basketball fans is this the biggest event of the year, but it also is for nearly 200 members of the working media. Well, most of them are working here, but of the 178 media personnel that are represented covering this Class A boys basketball final, 26 radio stations here along Radio Row on courtside, and also 102 sports writers and over 50 TV personnel. Everybody's watching or writing about this tournament. Back over to Jim and Greg.
That they are, Joe. And of course, the first time since 1986 that a final matches 2 teams who have never won a trophy. David Maribel does not get the shot. Things have cooled off considerably since that opening 30 seconds. Mark Aubrey from 20, in and out. No good. Larson tipped it around, and Baker came down with it. Baker's shot may be off a little bit. Looks a little tired, but his rebounding is there.
Yeah, nice rebound that time by Baker. They need to get him into the flow on the offensive end.
There he is, down low and too hard. Rebound, Larson lost it on the floor. Larson got it back. Or did he? No, now it's tipped up ahead.
Who do you think knocked that away? Fiesel. Nice hustling play that time by Fiesel.
Fox to the hole, in and out. Rebound, Larson. Can't miss those. Crawford will pull up and wait for the offense, which is Mr. Aubrey from Aid. Not there. Rebound comes down to the Sockies of Pittsfield, and both teams showing signs of 2 games in 1 day. Bad pass picked off by Aubrey.
Pittsfield very cold from the floor to start the ball game. They're 1 of 6. On the other side for Seneca, they're 2 of 5, and that's a 40%.
Aubrey off the pick, floats. That should go, but it doesn't. Rebound comes down. And again, we have cold shooting bothering both teams. Fox brought that rebound down. Down low, Fox. No.
You couldn't ask for any better shots. Pittsfield getting the ball down low, getting it deep. Baker's had some shots inside. Fox has had a couple that wouldn't go. And now they're 1 of 7 from the floor. They're just having some problems putting the basketball in the hoop.
Larson will try from 15. That's short. Well, it's still 5-2, and we have just 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Both teams came out looking like they'd score a lot. Fox, tough shot, fade away, no. Rebound, won by Brett Larson. Seneca and Pittsfield needs to find that round thing.
Aubrey showing some leadership, running the ball club, and really looking to get some other people, I think, in the flow. He starts the ball game a little cold, 1 of 6 from the floor.
An offensive foul called.
Good call by the official there. Crawford on the dribble drive, but when he was going down through the lane area, led with his left hand. Pittsfield 1 of 8 from the floor now. Seneca 2 of 8. And Aubrey, Mark Aubrey, he's at 1 of 6. That won't bother him, no. That won't shake him.
That was the first personal foul of this ball game. A steal out front by Aubrey, but he could not contain the body in bounds, so we'll keep coming with the Sockies offensively.
Boy, he just keeps coming at you too, doesn't he? Mark Aubrey almost came up with a great steal, leaped after the basketball, almost saved the basketball.
And believe me, you do have to reach back. Bad pass. Fox tries to save it and does. Over to Fox. 17. That's not there. Rebound. 1 underneath by Fiesel, and he's fouled on the way up.
Good effort by Fiesel. Once again, Baker just can't find his shooting touch from the outside. He had an open jumper there on the baseline, and looked like instead of shooting the basketball on the way up, he's shooting it on the way down. Fiesel inside. A good play by the little guy inside. And right there, you see the personal foul on Brent Larson as he reached and got him on the arm. It's going to be Fiesel going to the line. And then the 2 ball games here at the Assembly Hall for Fiesel, he's been deadly at that strike. He's 17 of 20 from the line.
And Fiesel has scored 38 points, starting with that super sectional game. Steve Erickson in the ball game now for Seneca, number 30. Replacing Aaron Crawford at the guard position.
Really haven't seen a whole lot of offense, especially in this ball game, but the ball clubs are really struggling shooting the basketball. They just can't find their touch from the outside. I think that's what we can contribute to the low-scoring ball games we've had in this tournament. Wouldn't you agree?
And a couple things come into play. First of all, physical. This is the second game of the day. You exerted a lot of energy just to get to the championship. And the second thing is the championship's on your mind. Aubrey got it. Mark Aubrey twisting down the lane, and it's 7-2 Seneca, and Pittsfield's got to warm up. As you stated earlier, they're getting the shots they want.
Oh, they're getting the shots in good scoring position. They just can't deliver or finish the play. They're 1 of 9 from the floor. That last play by Aubrey, though, he just slipped through everybody, a twisting layup, and he's so skilled with the basketball.
That's where they want the ball. Baker, nice pass to Maribel, and he'll go to the free throw line. Baker very unselfishly, he could have taken that 9 quick fade away, but opted for the layup instead.
It was a nice dump. He went up like he was going to shoot the basketball, and there was Maribel going strong to the glass. Looked like he was trying to get position for offensive rebounds, but he was still watching Baker. Nice drop pass, and Maribel is going to go at the line. And on the year, he's had some problems from the free throw stripe at only 52%.
And the problems continue for the 6'1", 175-pound senior. That man, Dave Bennett, in his 15th year coaching Pittsfield, 338 wins, and he's got a great story about every one of them.
And if he's 52% from the line, he ought to make this one, shouldn't he?
Yep. So Pittsfield crawls back to within 4, and oftentimes these kinds of games, they start out slowly and people go, oh no. They finish up just the opposite. Looking for Mark Aubrey, who came off the pick. He'll wait for the three, not there. Heading out of bounds, Burton saves it, but back into Feasel. Feasel has a 2-on-2. He'll take it all the way in, get it on over to Maribel, who's going back to the free throw line.
Yeah, it looked like Feasel didn't have the numbers on that play, but Feasel just got rid of the basketball right at the right time as Maribel really didn't give up on the play. Really came right there. It looked like, see, they didn't have the numbers. It was 2-on-2, but a nice leave right there. Maribel's foul on the play once again. He's going to go back to the line. Nice look that time by Feasel. Team fouls, Pittsfield. No fouls, Seneca with 4.
Jason Aubrey with the personal on that play. Free throws are head games, folks. They're simply head games.
For Pittsfield, they're 1 of 5 from the line, 1 of 9 from the floor. Make that 2 of 10 now. Or 2 of 6, excuse me, from the line.
We are at the 1-minute mark in the Class A state championship game. Jim Albrecht and Greg Sterrick, glad you have joined us all over this great basketball state to see who will claim the A. Next weekend, of course, the AA. You talk about your low-scoring first quarters in a championship game. Aubrey could not shake Feasel, who got off the deck and still played defense. Plenty of time, 35 seconds remaining. I don't know if they're necessarily holding for the final shot, but at this stage, I think they will.
I think they are, unless Mark Aubrey sees a shot he likes.
Which could be just about anywhere.
He hadn't seen any dislike that.
I asked him before the game how his legs felt. He said, fine, fine.
I don't think this guy would ever get tired. I think that adrenaline just pumps in this guy all the time.
To him, tired is a state of mind, and he won't allow it. Although it does affect your jump shot. 8 seconds. We've seen this play before in the tournament. Aubrey's going to work on him, hang, and not hit it. Rebound Baker. That's the way the first quarter will come to a close. There's a lot of ice in this state championship game, and it's hanging on the field goals. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois.
Seneca may be the Fighting Irish, but they've also got a little German on the bench. Literally. In fact, at the end of the bench, number 14 is Chris Reese. He is not only the team manager, plays part-time on the junior varsity, but hails from the country of Germany. He's a foreign exchange student staying with a family in the Seneca area and adds a lot to the team in a lot of ways. Back over now to Jim and Greg.
My counselor in high school always told me I should know a little German, and now I do. I do.
Oh, my.
We're underway in the second quarter, and we got to heat this place up. Somebody hit the thermostat. Aubrey off the pick. Both teams ice cold from the field. Aubrey from 20. That's going to be short again. And with the rebound is David Maribel. Feasel will make it happen if at all possible.
Still think they need to figure out some kind of a way. Baker's got to get into the flow. Didn't score any points there in the first quarter, and he's really not playing with a lot of confidence on the offensive end. Looking to pass and really not looking for the shot. They need him to step up and score some points for him. He's their leading scorer, averages better than 20 points per ball game.
Feasel from outside. That's too much iron. Tony Baker doesn't want to go back up with it.
Oh, see, he wasn't even looking to shoot the basketball. He's just not playing with a lot of confidence right now. Good ball movement. It's all coming out on the perimeter. Trying to spring somebody open on the inside.
Baker needs it, doesn't get it. Rebound comes down to Brett Larson. Man, I can't remember a championship game where the percentage of shots didn't fall as they are right now.
Well, it's the lowest scoring first quarter in title game history since 1936, and that ball game was Danville 6 and Decatur 3.
Jason Aubrey tried. You saw the result, and we're still at 7-4. This has been a strange Final Four to begin with. No team that was in the Final Four. Baker hanging, didn't get it. It came out. He's back up and in.
Yeah, nice play by Baker that time on the inside. Tony Baker didn't get the shot to go. He struggled with his shot, stayed with it nicely, got it up on the window, got the two-pointer. Now it's a one-point ball game with Seneca on top by 1 at 7-6.
Off the pick, Aubrey wants that shot, floats it home.
Oh, that was a tough shot right there, just falling away, falling towards the baseline, stayed with it nicely. Aubrey got the shot right there.
There are several ways you can go by a pick. Aubrey glides by a pick. Larson was setting it up, and he just floats on by there and continues to go to the baseline.
Yeah, he's just so tough to guard because of his quickness. He's really got that whole package. He's got the quickness, a good first step. About the time you think he's going to put it on the floor and take it by you, he'll just spring up and knock it down from outside.
I was about to say how strange this whole Final Four was. First time since they started taking the Associated Press poll that no rated team was in the Final Four, rated at the end of the season. Off the glass, up and in for Mr. Fox. David Fox, the 6'2 senior, who looks like a football player because he is one, banged it home. Aubrey again. No, not this time. Rebound comes down to Sweeting, who had it knocked out of bounds by Jason Aubrey.
Aubrey's not afraid to put the ball up from anywhere on the floor, and he's already put up 12 shots, and he's 3 of 12 from the floor. And for Seneca, they're now 4 of 15. But on the other side of the ledger, Pittsfield, no, they're only 3 of 14.
Fiesel couldn't get away from Mark Aubrey. Remember, Mr. Aubrey came in averaging 28 points a game. Baker, the guy with the ball, or just gave it up.
Sometimes good defense, though, has something to do with how you're shooting the basketball. And I think both these ball clubs really get it done on the defensive end. Seneca, you're not going to see much of a ball club that's any quicker. They are so quick on the defensive end.
Baker averaging 20 points a game. He's the high man for Pittsfield. Pass down low to Fox. That is not there. Good defense from behind. Loose on the floor, and Mark Aubrey picked it up. It looked like it was going to be a sure two, but there is no sure thing on this night.
Well, there might have been a foul in there,
Aubrey,
too.
tough shot. Got it. He was 0 for 9 this afternoon and ended up with 27, so he's going to keep firing.
Well, Aubrey's got 9 of 11 points.
Seneca's lead is 3 as Pittsfield tries to cut into it. It's a motion offense. They set Pixel on the baseline, then pop up front.
Seneca really doing a good job, though, denying the basketball, and they're taking away everything on the inside. It's all perimeter. It's good ball movement out of Pittsfield, and it's a motion offense, but they're not getting anything on the inside. No cutters. It's just all perimeter.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume this defense has teeth. It'll bite you. And of course, Pittsfield is taught to be patient, so they're not going to force a shot. And against good defense, you're going to get this kind of movement. Down low, they were patient and got it. And Sweeting got the bucket.
You're exactly right. Good patience, good ball movement on the inside. And the sophomore, Jamie Sweeting, stepped up. Nice cut, and then got it up on the glass for a 2-pointer. And we've got a 1-point ball game. 3:20 left here in the second quarter.
Sweeting, all of 15 years old, playing for a state championship. Aubrey for 3, yes. No, he was on the line. They'll give him just 2. That front foot was on the line. Boy, that thing made the net sing, didn't it?
Oh. Nothing bothers the guy. I love the way he plays out on the floor. Just plays with a lot of heart, a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion. But a good player, a good shooter like that, he's going to miss 7, 8 shots. It doesn't even faze him. He goes back and gets it done on the defensive end. Then when the shot becomes open on the offensive end, he's going to jump up and try and hit the big shot.
There's Fox, open along the baseline. The fadeaway is too hard, and the rebound comes down to Burton. Remember, Seneca won the 1990 2A state football champion with that man at quarterback.
He wanted another one right there. Right there. He said, give me another one. Just takes it up over Fiesel, and that was a 3. Now it's a 6-point lead for Seneca at 16-10.
The quarterback and the point guard are up 16-10. One of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Associations of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Well, if Pittsfield needs any inspiration at this point, all they've got to do is look at their shoulder or at their shoes. They're both black. The reason for that is in the memory of fallen teammate Jason Gress, who was killed in an automobile accident last summer on his way to a basketball camp. The inspiration, though, lives on in this game. Back over now to Jim and to Greg.
Pittsfield with an enrollment of 403 as opposed to Seneca's 392, both about even in that department.
Look at the field goal department there for Aubrey. He's 6 of 15.
The rest Sweeting inside. Yeah, right now we're getting down to the point, Greg, where we can take all these numbers and set them on the parking lot because there's only going to be 2 that matter, and that's on the board at the end of the game. Ooh, almost traveling by Aubrey, but he kept that pivot foot down with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, both ball clubs are starting to warm up a little bit, too, from the outside.
That one's going to be way short. Whoa. Aubrey with an air ball, stopped the presses. That's like the Pope saying, shoot.
Yeah, Aubrey now 2 of 8 from 3-point range, 6 of 16 from the floor. He's got 14 points.
Nice backdoor play, and Baker makes it work.
Good look that time. Good cut. Backdoor cut that time. Air ball with assist. Finds Baker on the inside for the 2-pointer. Pittsfield just trailing now by 2. 16 for Seneca, 14 for Pittsfield.
It may not be high scoring, but it's close. Seneca averaging 67 points a game. Aubrey pulling up, changes his shot, didn't get it to fall, tried to fight for the rebound, but Sweeting said, it's mine. And here comes Pittsfield with a chance to tie, and Fiesel rarely stops until he dishes it off. Fox missed it.
Had the opportunity too. Nice pass that time by Fiesel down low, just couldn't finish the play. Well, you still have to feel good, though, for Pittsfield. As much as they've struggled shooting the basketball, they've got the basketball in positions where they should be able to score, and they're still only trailing by 2 points.
Good point. Aaron Crawford.
Crawford likes that 3, too. If he gets his feet under him, he's a good standstill shooter.
Steve Erickson, number 30, just passed the ball off to Burton. Burton, one of those quiet role players on this team, just bangs inside. Crawford. Looks like they're going to wait for the last shot of the half with the advantage by 2. Although Larson looked like he had that gleam in his eye behind that circle again. He does. He doesn't have anything but air molecules, but fortunately, it went off of Fiesel's hands, and you'll rarely see that happen. What happened was Fiesel was thinking, up court, I'm going up court, and he took his eye off the ball.
Well, I think he was surprised also that the ball didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
It came to him so quickly. I think he was anticipating getting position, and maybe the basketball coming off the rim for a rebound.
Erickson checks out now. See the time on the right-hand corner of your screen. That's what Mark Aubrey will try to beat. We've seen this time and time again. They post him up high. This time double team him. Crawford open for the 3. Not there. Rebound Baker. 1 second. End of the first half of the championship game. Seneca leads it by a count of 16 to 14. Both teams will head to the locker room, and I'm sure what Dave Bennett will say is, hey, just keep working the offense the way you've been working it. They'll drop.
That's all you can do.
He's got to say that.
Oh, that's all you can do. He's got to feel good about his ball club. He's only trailing by 2 points here at the intermission. Aubrey had a big first half. Aubrey gets 14 of the 16 points that Seneca had.
Speaking of Mr. Bennett, he is standing by with our Joe Passion. Joe, it's all yours, sir.
All right, with David, I got to ask you, when you have a first half like that, you go into a locker room, you got to have something specific on your mind. What is it?
Well, we'd like to make our easy shots right now. We've missed several easy shots right by the basket. Defensively, we're all right. We've rebounded the ball pretty well, but we just missed too many easy shots. We've got to try and figure out some way where we can get some shots we can make.
All right, thanks, Coach Bennett. We'll see you after the game, and we'll be back in a moment, but first, let's send it over to Jim.
Nobody in any foul trouble, and this championship still up for grabs. We will return to the Assembly Hall after these messages from your local station.
When my dad died.
As we have noted over the last 2 days here, the boys Class A basketball tournament, this is the 20th renewal of the Class A tournament. So let's go back and open the tournament scrapbook and look back at some of the great moments since 1972. Lawrenceville came to play as the Class A tournament got underway in 1972, winning 2 of the first 3 championships. Sandwiched in between was Ridgeway, led by Brent Browning and Mike Dixon, who beat Maple Park Canelan for the 1973 title, 54-51. The Class A tournament reached its maturity in 1976 with the brilliant play of Lawrenceville's blonde bomber, Jay Scheidler. Scheidler set a tournament scoring record with 157 points, lighting up Assembly Hall with 93 points on Saturday. But Lawrenceville was a third-place finisher that time around.
The title game between Mount Pulaski and Oneida Roba went down to the wire as Jeff Clements staked Mount Pulaski to a 59-58 lead. Then Mount Pulaski held off the challenge to win the title by that score. In 1979, sophomore Walter Downing led New Lenox Providence to the title, beating previously unbeaten Havana 46-33. Lawrenceville again burst onto the scene with back-to-back undefeated championship seasons in 1982 and 83. Ron Felling, with 4 state titles in his tenure at Lawrenceville, was blessed with the presence of Mr. Basketball, Marty Simmons, as the Indians ran off a record 68-game winning streak. The following year, Brian Sloan led McLeansboro to a 35-0 season as the Foxes became the 3rd straight unbeaten Class A champion. The title went to Chicago's Providence St. Mel in 1985, thanks to the presence of All-American Lowell Hamilton. The Knights set a tournament scoring record, beating Chrisman for the title 95-63. In 1989, Carlisle, led by 6'8" Tom Michaels, became the first team to claim a state title in both basketball and football. Carlisle beat Rock Island Ulliman 65-56 for the title. Last year's title game was one of the best. Prairie Central of Fairbury, led by Gary Tidwell, and Trenton Westland, led by Paul Lusk, went basket for 32 minutes. Finally, in the second overtime, Brent Brady converted the steal for the lead. That led to their first place trophy.
It's been a great history of Class A boys basketball. It continues as we come back with the second half here from Assembly Hall. And we'll be back right after these messages from our local sponsors.
Number 32, Brian Olsack. Number 10, Doug Sagel. Number 22, Scott Newman. Number 42, Ken Lloyd. Team trainer, Jim Byron. Manager, Augie Casson. Superintendent, Richard Hatfield. Athletic Director, Dan Stauffer. And an additional award will be given to Dr. Richard Meckes, principal of the school, who is not here tonight. Those are the bullets.
If you are just joining us, welcome to the Class A State Championship game. Yes, those numbers are correct, not a typo. Just cold shooting in the first half, 16-14. Our score, Seneca leads it. Thanks, of course, to Mark Aubrey, Greg Sterick to my right. And basketball, you can make all the rules you want. You can make all the baskets the exact same height. You can put all the lines in the same place, but you can't figure it out for the life of you. Here you have the 2 remaining teams in the state in Class A, and they come out and they can't find the hole.
Well, they had some problems shooting the basketball. Both ball clubs very cold from the floor. Pittsfield was only 30% in the first half. They had some problems. They got the basketball in good scoring position. They just couldn't finish the play, so they struggled. On the other side, for Seneca, it was all Mark Aubrey. He gets 14 of their 16 first half points, and he's a creator, he's a penetrator, he can shoot it from long range. He's got the whole package, and he's really keeping them in the ball game. He's been all the offense for Seneca in the first half. But the other key that we should note is the fact that Brian Fiesel for Pittsfield did not score a point in the first half.
Exactly. The spark plug was detained for the time being. We're coming back to the Assembly Hall, the presentation of the 3rd and 4th place trophies after these messages from your local station.
Manager, Jason Hall. And now let's meet the players. Number 3, Chris Hart. Number 11, Jeff Brzezinski. Number 21, Doug Miller. Number 22, Jamie Brzezinski. Number 25, Travis Hall. Number 31, Joey Gray. Number 34, 35, Jason Kinselman. Number 41, Jason Moore. Number 43, Jerry Schnicker. Number 53, Chase Vickers.
Of course, McLeansboro, the team to fall to Seneca in the semifinals today by a count of 52-42, while Pittsfield was beating Williamsville, believe it or not, 42-25. Williamsville just couldn't find the hole either, and they didn't get it done tonight either against McLeansboro in the third place game, which went 63-44 McLeansboro, and as we speak, both teams on the floor right now receiving their medallions, which is something that you will treasure forever because the stories magnify as the years go by. And right now, let us head to the floor and the presentation of those trophies.
Stand by for the trophy presentation. Presenting the fourth place trophy will be Mr. Thomas Howard of Fremd High School in Palatine, who serves the IHSA as president of the board. Will Coach Kerry McVickers and the captains of Williamsville High School please step forward to receive the fourth place trophy. Mr. Howard, if you please. Congratulations to Williamsville High School, this year's fourth place finisher in Class A. And now presenting the third place trophy will be Mr. Fred Curtis of Belleville East High School in Belleville, who serves the IHSA as treasurer of the board. Will Coach Kurt Reed and the captains of McLeansboro High School please step forward to receive the third place trophy. Mr. Curtis, if you please. Congratulations to the Foxes of McLeansboro High School, this year's third place
We will return
finisher.
to the Assembly Hall after these messages from your local stations. Basketball is not always a game of how well you play. Sometimes it's a matter of, do you play well enough to win? Both coaches have to feel very fortunate. Both could be on the end of a blowout here, but they are not. Here's some of the action in the first half.
Well, the shot goes up from the outside by Aubrey. He misses, but Brett Larson all over the offensive glass. Nice stick back that time by Brett Larson. Then back the other way. Who are we going to see? Slipping and sliding, twisting, slashing. Aubrey gets it up on the glass, gets the two-pointer.
Baker been a little bit silent, the All-Stater, but he has had some action.
Well, Baker right there, nice play. And watch how he stays with it. The shot doesn't go right there, but Baker stays with it, gets it back up on the glass for the two-pointer. And back the other way, you know we're going to have to see Mark Aubrey just stop, spring, hit the jumper. Mark Aubrey right there hits the off-balance jumper. Another shot by Aubrey right there. Another jumper. It's been Aubrey jumpers throughout the first half.
As you might assume, the statistics are not glowing, but here they are nonetheless, as Pittsfield shooting 6 of 20.
Well, both ball clubs very cold. They need to warm up from the outside. 30% for Pittsfield, 32% for Seneca. The free throw department, Seneca doesn't have any opportunities at the line. Pittsfield's 2 of 6. The rebound department, that's fairly close, but Pittsfield with a 4-rebound edge at 17-13. Points down low in the paint. Pittsfield gets 13. Seneca gets 4 in the turnover department. 2 for both ball clubs. When you take a look at the scoring leaders, Pittsfield there, Baker with 4, Sweeting with 4, Fox gets 4, Marable gets 2, and where's Brian Fiesel?
And now let's throw it to Joe Passion courtside. Joe?
All right, I'm with Doug Evans, and give us a little insight on the locker room discussions.
Well, we just got to get a little bit going on the boards. We only had 1 offensive rebound. We maybe show a little more patience on the offense and try to get it inside and get a little some easier shots than we did in the first half. Mark had a few outside shots go, but we're a little bit dead leg, and we're going to have to fight through it and really get it going in the second half.
Is part of the coaching philosophy, at least as we may have saw in the first half, you want Mark Aubrey to take those shots?
Yeah, we want Mark. He's had 40, 46 in him. Once he gets it going, he's unstoppable. He just can't get it. He can't put a streak together right now. But we're going to try punching inside a little bit more in the second half and then maybe get Mark going again.
All right, thanks so much, Doug. All right, back over now to the desk with Jim and Greg.
Yeah, he just can't get a streak going. That's probably summing it up better than anything, but he's still getting it done.
Well, he's 6 of 17 from the field, 2 of 8 from three-point line. He gets 14 of his 16 points, but I like the comment by the coach, Doug Evans. We got to get something happening on the inside. Maybe get Larson involved on the inside. Maybe get Jason Burton involved on the inside. They need some points inside. Then that'll open up a little bit more for Mark Aubrey. He plays, though, just with reckless abandon out there on the floor. He goes after every loose ball. He's such a great scorer and also a great shooter. He gets 14 of the 16 first half points by Seneca. But if you're both coaches, you got to feel pretty good. You're in the ball game. This thing's a long way from being over.
I look up at the scoreboard and I can't remember a time when I sat through a first half and did not see a personal foul on the board for one team. And that is exactly what we have in the case of the Saukeys, so nobody in foul trouble there. As for Seneca, Aaron Crawford, the only man with 2 personals in the first half. We have 16 minutes of regulation basketball left to decide a state championship, unless, of course, we have one of those OTs. Pittsfield will inbound, and they better hurry. They don't get it done. 5-second call.
Good defense that time of the Fighting Irish to start the second half. There just wasn't anyone to release the basketball to, and you don't want to waste a timeout right there to start the second half. And Maribel couldn't get it in, got the count, the ball turns back over. The ball belongs to the Fighting Irish of Seneca.
Pittsfield has but 3 timeouts left to go in the game. Of course, Seneca has all 4 that they were allotted when this contest started. This is the lowest scoring first half in the title game since 1942, when Centralia and Paris were tied at 14 at the break. That's when Dyke Edelman, the famed Illini basketball star, was playing. Aubrey changes his shot, doesn't matter.
Off balance, just changed his shot. A great shot that time by Mark Aubrey.
18-14, so Pittsfield took the ball out of the break and had planned on going down and possibly tying this game. Couldn't get it in. Now they find themselves 4 down on their trip down, but it's back to 2. Compliments to Tony Baker.
A nice look inside. Baker takes control on the inside. Good post-up move that time. Good look inside. Baker gets the 2-pointer.
Remember, every player that Seneca has in uniform, almost everyone, played on their state championship football team, so they've been in pressure situations before.
I don't think pressure would ever bother Mark Aubrey. He was a quarterback on that state championship football ball.
Jason Aubrey, his brother, was the fullback, and Jason Burton was the end, and Crawford was on the team, as was Erickson. Driving, getting it blocked, but a foul on Fox. Guy Scholzberger and Chad Esger also members of that state championship football team, and it takes about a month to make the transition from one sport to the other, and you can see that Aubrey, once he finds the opening, is going to create something, usually a foul down in there.
Well, he does a good job. He's a slasher, he's a driver on the inside, and he also is able to get players up in the air, and when he does that, he just kind of leans into them. He does spend a lot of time at the free throw line, shoots 73% on the year from the charity stripe. It's the first foul on Pittsfield in the ball game.
Unbelievable. Rebound, Larson, no. It looked like they might get a 3-point play out of that because the ball bounded high. Not really a mistake by Pittsfield. They boxed out fine. Just the bounce of the basketball, but they get away with it, trailing by 3. Fiesel trying to get his game on track.
And Fighting Irish now playing a 2-3 zone.
Baker's shot is not there, but Sweeting is back up and in. And we've got a 1-point contest. Compliments of Jamie Sweeting, the sophomore.
And it's much more difficult to rebound out of a zone defense than it is a man-to-man, because you really don't have a man to check, and they really let Sweeting slip in that time and get an easy two-pointer on the stick back.
Fiesel had the idea to come up from behind and double team Aubrey, but almost a sixth sense for Aubrey. He saw him coming and pulled the ball up. Aubrey from three, yeah!
Aubrey's on a roll here to start the second half. Aubrey now with 20 points. That's 20 of the 22 Seneca points.
Well, Aubrey is leading Pittsfield by 2. Seneca's leading Pittsfield by 4. Inside they go to Fox, and he will not get the roll. And who's there for the rebound but Mark Aubrey? Long pass to Crawford. No, too hard. And a foul underneath, and it will go against Seneca. The Fighting Irish have Brett Larson with a personal foul.
There's a good look up the floor, too. There's a good look of Brett Larson, the talented junior center for Seneca, and Coach Doug Evans.
First team foul against Seneca. No shot.
Defensive changes by the Fighting Irish. They played some man-to-man. They've played some 2-3 zone. They've also going to now show a little 1-2-2 zone defense for Pittsfield, 33%. Seneca at 35%.
I have a feeling those are going to come up. I don't know why, but call it a premonition or call it hopeful. Long jumper by Fiesel.
Yeah, that's a good omen right there. A good sign as Fiesel gets his first two-pointer of the ball game. Count that as a 3. That was a 3 by Fiesel.
And we've got a one-point ball game again. 3 minutes have transpired here in the third quarter. You are watching the Class A state championship game on the IHSA television network. We're glad you're there. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any reason to do it.
Well, Aubrey goes inside. He's being checked by Baker. And look at the move right there by Mark.
That's a jump ball. David Maribel got his hand on all ball.
Starting to get a little physical inside right there. Baker's checking Aubrey, and Aubrey beats Baker on the drive, and Maribel right there looked like he could have got him on the arm. The official decided to call the held ball.
One of your network sponsors is the Toyota dealers of Illinois.
And here are some of the schools.
Seneca is trying to become only the third team. Actually, they've become the third team to ever have their boys and girls basketball teams in the same year in the championship game. They're trying to become the second team in history. Teotopolis did it in '86 to win both titles. East St. Louis Lincoln was the third team, by the way. Their boys won it in '82. Their girls finished second. Back over to Tim and Greg.
Oh, they're having a good time. They're having a good time.
That's what it's all about. The fans are enjoying it, aren't they?
Oh, a steal underneath as Fox actually saved it from being stolen. It looked to me like they were inbounding to Seneca, didn't it? Well, of course, the head of the Fighting Illini on hand, Lou Henson. They said this would be his worst season. Of course, he had a lot of problems, not a lot of talent returning. And what does he do? He wins 21 games, and they play Indiana tomorrow. And I believe Bobby Knight is in attendance here today as well.
And what a job Lou Henson's done. It's an amazing job that he's done this year as a coach.
Well, you keep hearing from his critics that he can't coach, and then you keep looking at his record, and he wins 20, 22, 23. So what's coaching all about?
Oh, I think he can coach. I think the guy can coach. He's done a tremendous job this year.
Well, let's see who will get the task done here. Crawford looking inside for that man, Mark Aubrey. He's double teamed, kicks it out. Larson looked at it, thought better of it. Aubrey will think, I want it, but doesn't get what he wants. Out of bounds. Good hustle there by Brett Larson, but to no avail as we come the other way. And Pittsfield has a chance to take the lead as Doug Evans agonizes over the proceedings.
Well, Seneca's put up 27 shots, and out of those 27, Mark Aubrey's put up 20 of them. Aubrey now 8 of 20 from the floor.
David Maribel stopped in a tough place in that corner. He gets rid of it. Sweeting, though, step out of bounds. That's a bad place to give up your dribble.
Well, you get caught in that double team like that. He was really looking to give up the basketball. When he did, he just stepped out of bounds on the play.
And again, there is always one common denominator with basketball and basketball fans, and it's very simple. It always looks easier when you're not out there. Aubrey with the jumper. That's off. Larson, big rebound, good.
Now that's the inside play they needed. Larson on the offensive glass gets the stick back.
Out of bounds, coming back the other way as Seneca creates the turnover. Brian Fiesel had problems and lost it.
Yeah, Larson's the only other player on Seneca's team who scored. Of the 24 points, 20 of them came from Mark Aubrey, and the other 4 have been from Brett Larson.
Inbounding tough. Nice pass inside, but I don't know if Larson was ready for it. Actually, that time Mark Aubrey had a better chance at jaying it from there.
Well, he went up for the shot, but it was a very unselfish play. Larson, a nice cut to the hoop and a little drop pass that time by Mark Aubrey. So the ball's still going to belong to the Fighting Irish of Seneca.
3:26 remaining here in the third quarter. Seneca inbounding with the lead of 3. Aubrey hustling. Touched last, they say, by the Saukees. Tough call.
I think Maribel knocked it out of bounds, though the ball's still going to belong to Seneca.
Of course, Pittsfield's fans think someone is in need of an eye chart. Aubrey baseline, he'll hang, and he won't hit that one. He misses everything. He comes out to his brother, Jason Aubrey. Aubrey's just not the Aubrey we've seen previously, but that's probably good enough.
And the guy's got 20 of their 24 points. And we think he's shooting the ball bad. He's really not stroking it very well from the outside, but he's such a good player, and they really rely on him. They go to him whether he's shooting the ball well or not. The kid plays with so much confidence out on the floor.
Jason Aubrey looking for his brother inside. There's Mark. Off the mark. Tony Baker with the rebound. Long baseball pass. Got it down to Fox.
Great look that time by Brian Fiesel. Give Fiesel the assist. Fox the hoop.
Again, back to a one-point ball game. 24-23. Seneca leading it. Pittsfield and Seneca both trying to win the school's first state championship in basketball. What a move, what a shot.
Oh, tough play right there. A little behind the back, gets down in the lane area and just springs up, knocks down the jumper. Seneca now up by 3 at 26 and Pittsfield at 23. And now we are in the third quarter and we're winding it down. 1:55 left in the third quarter.
Mark Aubrey now has 22 points. Nice pass down low. Baker should go up and score and does. There were defenders in the way, but the ball was arced in such a way that it got right to Baker, not even contested.
Now Baker now with 8 points in the ball game.
Aubrey working on Fiesel, pulls up, doesn't hit it. Rebound comes out to Jason Aubrey, who saves it to his brother. And we've got a jump ball. And the arrow will belong to Pittsfield.
Pittsfield possession.
Ball goes up right there. Jason Aubrey goes for the save and just throws it back in bounds. Looks like we have a collision. An official there decided to make a held ball call, and with a possession arrow, the ball goes back over to Pittsfield.
That's a tough call with both players having the right to go for the ball. Fiesel for the lead, short, rebound underneath, and a foul against Burton. Jason Burton for Seneca called for an illegal block.
Yeah, he got him with a block, and he also got him with a push going after the basketball, so a personal foul goes on Jason Burton on the play. Jason Burton, his first personal foul.
Good defense on the interior, denying the pass. Fiesel. With 1:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Pittsfield trying to stroke for the lead. Inside they go. Fox lead Pittsfield.
Nice turnaround jumper that time in the lane by Fox.
You can hear the Saukee fans. They love their first lead of the night.
That's their first lead since they got the first basket of the ball game.
Aubrey taking it over to Crawford. Now that's his shot, but it's a little short. The rebound comes down to Baker. Baker's always planted in the lane, always in good position. And now we'll see Pittsfield hold for the final shot of the third quarter, leading 27-26. No one in the bonus situation as of yet. Both teams with 3 personal fouls in this half. Fiesel. They'll go with 10. No, Maribel might go now. He does, gets it over. Now they've got to reset, and they don't have a lot of time. Just 7 seconds. Not where they want the ball. Baker's going to have to create. Baker from 17, short, rebound, Fiesel, beat the buzzer, but did not get the basket.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Our score stands, Pittsfield 27, Seneca 26. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies. Mark Aubrey has 22 of those 26 Seneca points, but the one-man show is no longer in the lead as Pittsfield has taken the advantage on the jumper by Fox in the lane. And we've got 8 minutes remaining, and no, it hasn't been the best played offensive game. Yes, the defense has had its say, but what you have to do right now, Greg, is forget about the other 3 quarters, because what lies after this 8 minutes is the dream. You don't care what the score is, you want the trophy.
No, you don't worry about what's happened up to this point, because both ball clubs with an opportunity to win here in the final 8 minutes of the basketball game. And for Pittsfield, the third quarter really belonged to them. I thought they really hurt Seneca on the inside. They've got a real balanced attack, and points down low in the paint. Pittsfield with 23 and Seneca only 8. And Seneca's living from the perimeter, and they're really living on the play of Mark Aubrey. They're not really getting anyone else to step up. Larson's got 4 points, but all the other points have come from Mark Aubrey. I really think they need to get a little bit of help, maybe get Crawford involved on the offensive end, or maybe even get Burden involved inside.
Aubrey hangs, doesn't hit it. Baker has the rebound. If this ball game does come down to a last-second shot for the win or the loss, everybody will forget the score, I'll guarantee you that.
Aubrey just can't hit every shot.
Ooh, Aubrey almost with the foul, took it away, but not before the whistle had blown. And David Maribel used his body just right to deny Mark Aubrey the basketball.
Well, hustling play that time. Aubrey going for the steal, once again utilizing his excellent quickness. And for Mark Aubrey, that's his second personal foul.
And the next Seneca foul will put Pittsfield at the charity stripe with the 1-and-1. Good defense again. Somebody better help out. And Fox hears the call.
Yeah, Fox comes up a good release that time as Maribel was hunting for somebody to throw it into, and he was able to find Fox on the play. And I still look for Pittsfield to continue to try to go inside and get some baskets on the inside.
Fiesel inside, 10-footer, nice arc.
Yeah, I see Fiesel's come alive for him here in the second half. Nice basket that time by Fiesel.
7 minutes are left in the championship game. Lots of time, but Pittsfield has their biggest lead of the night, 29-26. Does Aubrey have enough steam to carry his team? You're about to find out. Oh, he lost the handle, loose on the floor, jump ball, a quick jump ball call, but the arrow is going to go Pittsfield's way.
And there's a nice defensive effort right there by the Sakis of Pittsfield. Dribble drive line right there by Aubrey, kind of loses the handle. Look at him going after the basketball right there on the floor. Aubrey going after it, and also Jamie Sweeting down on the floor getting after the loose ball. Nice play that time by Sweeting to tie up Aubrey.
It was all started by Fiesel, who made a little contact with him. Underneath Fox.
See, they're springing him open on the inside. Pittsfield able to connect on the points down low. A good look that time as Fox converts the two-pointer on the inside.
Fox is playing with confidence. Pittsfield is playing with a 5-point lead. 6:27 left. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois.
Defensive rebound. Transition. Balance. Halfway. Don't let up. Don't let up.
Dave Bennett has broken huddle, sending his team out with a 5-point lead, and they started taking over late in the third quarter and have continued that surge. Let's go to the huddle and see what Mr. Bennett had to say. Well, apparently a lot of crowd noise down there, and we've got live action back on the assembly floor. And it boils down to the simple case of, can Mark Aubrey reach back and find a little bit more offense?
Well, I think that's the case. He's definitely going to shoot the basketball. Nice spin move right there. Aubrey found the offense right there. Another basket by Aubrey, and he brings his ball club now back to within 3. And Aubrey now with 24 of the 28 Seneca points. That's amazing.
I swear, during this tournament, he's been listening to us. Every time we mention him, he does it. Nice pass underneath. Baker double team, gets it off the glass.
Let's see how much easier the shots are coming for Pittsfield. They're able to take it down low, and they've really gotten Baker involved. Baker now with 10 points on 5 of 12 shooting.
Aubrey for 3. Nope, not this time. Rebound comes down to Larson. They'll reset. Jason Aubrey doesn't take a lot of shots. Maybe he'll have to. He does. In and out. Rebound. Fought for Baker. Lost it out of bounds.
Baker just couldn't find the handle. His shot went up from Jason Aubrey from the outside. It's a good look by Mark to get the basketball to to Jason. The shot just wouldn't go. It was a good shot. Other players on the floor got to step up and shoot the basketball a little bit.
Yeah, Jason Burton bothered Baker that time and caused the ball to go out of bounds with 5:23. Mark Aubrey's team trails by 5 and still trails by 5. With the rebound is David Maribel. And if Pittsfield gets up by 7 or 9, it's going to be tough. Long pass to Fox, underneath. Had to take it back out, lost it out of bounds, but it was last touched by Aaron Crawford.
Yeah, nice play by Crawford to slap the basketball out of bounds. The ball's going to belong to Pittsfield underneath their own basket.
Steve Erickson will now check in for Seneca, and heading out will be Jason Burton, the senior. Erickson also a senior at 5'9", 160. Inbounding. Right back to Baker. That's the play. That's the result. That was a set play.
Once again, a little bounce outside to Fox as he pops out. Baker was the trigger man on the throw, and he just popped in on the block. Then they dumped it down to him, and he got up on the glass for 2.
Seneca's defense just has to get tougher inside. Aubrey hanging and hitting. Man, big basket. Seneca trails by 5. Pittsfield taking it up court, and you can bet they'll take their sweet old time. Aubrey now with 26. They're going to work and pound that ball inside and get about a 5-footer.
They're keeping the floor space very well. Then they're going to flash somebody down low on the inside.
Bad pass, and Jason Aubrey with great hustle, but he didn't get really what he deserved because he screened out his man, slapped the ball away, and saw it squirt away as he dove for it on the floor.
Well, they had the triangle set, and they tried to get the ball inside. It came inside right there. And on that particular play, Sweeting could have done a little better job going to meet the pass and holding that defender back.
A foul underneath. And Mark Aubrey was fighting with Tony Baker, and the result was a whistle and a foul on Aubrey. And Aubrey knows he has to deny the pass inside. He knows his teammates have to do it too. Getting it done is another thing.
Well, and Aubrey's only at 6'2", and Baker's at 6'5". They're just battling on the inside. And Aubrey trying to get around in front of Baker, and when he did, threw up his left arm and picked up the personal foul.
Baker scored over 1,000 points in his career with Pittsfield. Great free throw shooter, 83%.
Pittsfield's pretty good at the line, too. They shoot 69% on the year from the stripe. So it's going to be a tough ball club when you're playing catch-up against when you send them to that line.
Well, the folks in Pike County are wondering if Pittsfield can bring it home. Aubrey somehow saved it. Jeez, how does he do that? Aubrey all the way down. Crawford needs it, doesn't get it. Rebound Maribel. Pittsfield almost lost it in the backcourt, but Fiesel came up with it. That was one of those passes with your nose written on it. People are down on the floor, and Baker's got the advantage. Blocked, Fiesel back up, no good. Rebound, Seneca. That would have been a big basket for Pittsfield. The lead would have been 8. Instead, Aubrey tried to cut it. Larson lost it. Well, Seneca now is going to have to reach back, and Pittsfield's just going to have to maintain control.
Well, it's obvious how Aubrey goes. That's how the Fighting Irish have gone all year. The guy scored 30 or more points in 10 different ball games this year.
Baker, big shot.
Baker's playing with a lot more confidence here in the second half. He's really got a stroke back from long range, and how he got that stroke back was going down, working inside on the blocks, and get some easy 2-pointers. Now for Baker, he's 7 of 14. Baker with 15 points for Pittsfield.
And Pittsfield's just going to jump out and double team, and guys like Crawford and, of course, Larson have to hit, and they're not.
And now the clock's starting to be a factor, too. I'd look for Pittsfield to start taking some time off that clock, maybe pull their offense out, run some type of a delay game.
Maribel right now will take it inside, but they're going to look for Baker if they can. Almost a foul by Erickson. Maribel frees up, gets it inside to Sweeting, and he is fouled by Aubrey on the way up. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Jason Burton checking back in. Steve Erickson will leave. That's 4 fouls now on Aubrey.
And the penetration set that play up. A good look that time once again to get the basketball down low on the inside. And Pittsfield's doing such a good job here in the second half, getting the basketball into their players in some kind of a scoring position. That's down low in that paint area. They had some problems shooting the basketball. When you're not hitting from the outside, figure out a way. They made some adjustments at halftime to get the ball down low, and they also made the adjustments to get Baker involved on the offensive end. And Baker leads the way for Pittsfield with 15 points, but he's got a lot of help on the inside out of David Fox. He's got 10.
Don't get dogs from behind on the dribble. Okay? someplace.
Make everything count.
What we need to do is we'll get it. Listen, we're going to get it. They're going to play us man-to-man. Then they're going to start trapping, and when they do, we got to find no foul.
Brett, we're going to win every offensive rebound. Every one. This first time, let's go white for tonight.
It was interesting, Jim, to hear both coaches. You heard Dave Bennett telling his ball club to protect, take care of the basketball, be strong on the inside. Also indicating to his players that the Fighting Irish are going to play man-to-man. Then when you go into the huddle of Coach Doug Evans, he's telling his players who to match up with in that man-to-man defense, and also the player on the floor who they'd like to foul. They're going to go for the steal and look for David Maribel to be at the line, because that's who they want to foul. They don't feel like he's got the numbers at that free throw line.
Sweeting certainly has the numbers at the charity stripe. But remember, Mark Aubrey is playing with 4 fouls. If he's gone, I don't have to tell you what that means. The lead is now 10, the biggest lead of the night for either team, 40-30. And Seneca, if they want to live up to their nickname, the Fighting Irish, they're going to have to show some kind of fight. Aubrey fakes, gets his man up in the air, doesn't get it. Tip, controlled by Seneca, who will get it underneath their own basket.
Aubrey, 2 good opportunities there, just couldn't get the shot to go. And he's amazing. He's not showing any signs of any type of fatigue at all.
Yeah, when you're 16 or 17, you can go days.
Yeah, what's fatigue, huh?
Aubrey driving. Jason Aubrey gets the bucket. That was a big basket. Now the full court pressure applied. Well, Bakers finds himself all alone.
And you can't wait too long right now, because Pittsfield's going to run that time off the clock. As soon as Maribel gets the basketball in his hands, look maybe for Seneca to come out and pick up a personal foul.
If you're going to foul somebody, you're right. 54% for the line, and they did it.
You got to play the percentages when it gets this late in the ball game, when you're trailing by 8 points with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go.
While we have just a moment, we want to thank some of our colleagues, of course, Joe Passion for his work here at the Assembly Hall, and Dick Lutke, who you heard earlier during this telecast, and the play-by-play, our executive producer, Jim O'Boy, our producer, Jeff Davis, associate producer, Steve Gallick, director, Bob Albrecht, great director, bad last name, research analyst, Scott Johnson, and the statistician, Dennis Flynn.
Maribel knocks down that first free throw, so it's now 41 for Pittsfield, 32 for Seneca.
Missed that one. Good screen out. What Pittsfield does not want to do is foul. They don't want to stop this clock at all. We're obviously telling you something you should know. Seneca's shot is not there. Aubrey's just out. I think he's out of gas. He's just basically not getting that shot off the way he used to.
And nobody else is getting involved at all on the offensive end. He's put up 33 shots. He's 11 of 33 from the floor.
Man, that'd make you tired just thinking about it.
Well, the entire ball club's only put up 46 shots, and he's put up 33 of those shots.
And this is the other man you want to foul if you are Seneca.
And of those 33, 16 of them have come from three-point range.
Under 2 minutes left. They're ready to party in Pittsfield.
Good look at David Fox. His first opportunity at the line, and doesn't get that first free throw, but Fox is in double figures with 10 points and has really helped him on the offensive end and defensive end on the glass.
He played with a lot of confidence in the second half. Once he got that first one to fall, he had some trouble early. He's back up to 10, and now it's back up to Mark Aubrey. Aubrey looking for a pick, goes down, can't even get the layup. Usually he makes that shot. And if you're Mr. Aubrey, don't, because he's not feeling sorry for himself. He knows what this game is all about. You play it as best you can. If you don't get it done, that's just the way it goes. And a foul out front by Jason Aubrey. And David Maribel is going to find himself living at the free throw line.
That's the way Aubrey plays the game. He just plays it all out, 100% all the time he's on the floor, on both ends of the floor, offensive and defensive end. And once again, Maribel is going to go to the line. He's 3 of 6 for the line, 3 points on the evening.
There you see some of the other Pittsfield Sockies, and of course Doug Evans of Seneca wondering what it will take. That won't help. Pittsfield holds lots of records for Sweet 16 appearances. They've won more trophies as far as regionals and sectionals and super sectionals than any school in Illinois, but they have never won the state title. Never is about to end.
And they're getting very close, aren't they?
Long jumper won't even be close. Rebound Sweeting. Got a timeout on the floor. Pittsfield just going to have some fun in the huddle. And of course, Seneca is going to try to find about 6 3-pointers in the next minute and 19.
It's going to be very, very difficult to come back. And the way Pittsfield's got it done here in this, especially in the third quarter, now most all of the fourth quarter, it's been down low on the inside. Baker with 15 points, Sweeting with 8, and then you go to Fox, that's 11 points. So they've gotten 34 points out of their power players down low. Then you look on the other side of the ledger for Seneca, everything they've gotten's come from the outside out of Aubrey.
Forget it. Just forget it. Just don't let them get on it, okay? Set 1-4, make free throws. Set 1-4, no turnovers, make free throws. Don't panic. Don't panic, okay? You got 3 timeouts if you need it.
Hey, we'll go spread so we can get the 3 drive, kick it out, play up, take it, all timeout.
And here comes the 3-point line.
Let's shoot some
Well, of course, you heard both coaches, and you got to love Dave Bennett. No turnovers, make the free throws.
And that came up more than once in that conversation in the huddle. Make free throws, fellas, make free throws.
Well, Seneca led this ball game until the final minutes of the third quarter. David Fox put them ahead, and they've never trailed since. That being Pittsfield, of course. Fiesel didn't have his usual floor leadership game, but hey, he got him here.
What he hadn't had is just really hadn't had to score much because all the scoring's come on the inside. Somebody's got to run the ball club. You got to have some leadership in the backcourt, and he's really the glue of the ball club. Keeps everyone else settled down, does a good job of distributing the basketball to the right players. And I really thought the key was getting Baker involved early in the second half to start the third quarter.
And if you want to hear what a teenager feels like and sounds like when they have won a state championship or fallen short, stay with us. We'll have post-game interviews. We'll be talking with the coaches. And of course, Greg Sterrick, my colleague, will be putting on a free throw demonstration. Just kidding. Fox, not this time. Lead is 3. Aubrey's just got to get it up and fire. Spins, fires, can't get it. Rebound comes down to Baker. That play pretty much typified what happened. Crawford steals it in the backcourt, contact, and double dribble.
Yeah, double dribble the basketball. Good call by the official. You know, there's really no quit though in this Seneca ball club. They're still battling just as hard as they can.
51 seconds remain, and Pittsfield is going to have to make room for one big trophy, the biggest one. Somebody will be fouled here in just a matter of seconds. Almost a steal. And there's the foul, and it's Maribel going back to the charity stripe.
Yeah, the foul's going to be on Jason Aubrey on the play. And Pittsfield starting to celebrate a little bit now. It's a good look at Doug Evans and those players. What a year they've had. Their ball club at 27-4 coming into tonight's ball game.
As you know, Greg, from following the game of basketball so closely, you work at something so hard. Sometimes when it becomes reality, it's hard to figure out how to accept it. Well, that's what Pittsfield has to deal with right now. Checking out was Jamie Sweeting. Sweeting is a gone. And checking in is number 50, Troy Taylor. Troy Taylor will come in. Also coming in for Seneca is David Punky. Also checking in number 12, Dan Matson. And we'll get these names for you. Number 5, Greg Punky also in the ball game. Number 34, Steve Reynolds in the contest, as is Darren Bedecker. Out goes Mr. Fox. Mark Aubrey done for the evening with 26 points, 2 below his average, but he will end up leading this tournament in scoring. He came in with 79 points and now with 26, and there the flip side of victory. That's what sports are all about, though, because everybody wants to win and not everybody can, and you have to learn what that means on both ends.
Well, in the 3 ball games here at the Assembly Hall, Mark Aubrey gets 80 points in those 3 ball games. And from the floor, he was 26 of 73 3-point territory. He was 8 of 28 and 20 of 27 from the line.
Doug Wade in there for Pittsfield as the All-Stater Tony Baker checks out with a state championship trophy in his back pocket. And remember when this season started, Pittsfield's fans, the media, all said, you're going back to state. You've got 3 returning starters. You've got Tony Baker. You've got Fiesel. You will go back to state. That put a lot of pressure on this club. They responded.
Well,
out goes David Maribel.
Excuse me. They really handled the pressure very, very well. They also were an experienced ball club. And in the 3 ball games here in the Assembly Hall, they played like they'd been here before, didn't they?
They certainly did. Josh Townley in the ball game for Pittsfield now. At the free throw line is Fiesel. He'll leave shortly. Second free throw is no good. Greg Scott in the ball game for Pittsfield as well, wearing number 12. Shot is up and good by David Punky. Punky will go to the free throw line.
A little smile out there. He's happy. Got his name in the book.
And there goes your man off the floor. Playing his last second of high school basketball, Brian Fiesel.
Hope he's got a smile on his face, because that young man deserves to put a big smile on that face. What a job he's done here at the Assembly Hall. Good look there at the Pittsfield bench, and they're all smiles. Plenty to cheer about. Happy time.
Don't kid yourself. Real men hug, right?
Oh, sure they do. Nothing wrong with showing a little emotion.
Heck no.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Well, if you don't show it, what are you going to do with it? What's the point of it?
I'm going to throw this at you, too. In this ball game, Pittsfield has only committed 3 personal fouls.
Well, that's because Mark Aubrey was throwing up a lot of shots and really didn't get inside. Shot is up and good for Pittsfield by Josh Townley. So Townley gets on the board. Game is at 10s, but it's over. And they're partying in Pike County because this one is going to be history. That shot no good by Greg Punky. 1.6 seconds remain, and the long odyssey of Dave Bennett. He joins that exclusive club. He has a state championship. It's over. Pittsfield, the Class A state champions of 1991 in the basketball crazy state of Illinois. Let's just watch him for a second. Dave Bennett shaking hands with Jason Aubrey. For Seneca taking it as you would take it if you were denied something oh so very close. But it didn't happen. It got away from Seneca in the 4th quarter. And as Greg Sterick noted time and time again, they were patient. They were getting those shots in the first half, Greg. They weren't falling. In the second half, they got the same kind of shots. They fell. They are the state champions. Now let's go to Joe Passion.
Much, fellas. With me, Coach Bennett. You got the big prize. I know it was a long weekend, but it certainly seems like it's worthwhile.
Well, we've knocked a few shots down the second half. I told the boys I thought if they held them to 16 points again the second half, they'd win certainly. And you know, our guys did a nice job. I'm just happy for our kids. Most of all, happy for our community and of them. And yeah, it's a great feeling.
I'm sure that after last year, not able to get past the quarterfinals, but you were here, got a good taste of it. Did you ever think between that a legitimate chance to get back here and have a
Yeah, I did.
What?
Well, Tony Baker and Brian Fiesel and David Fox and David Maribel. That's a pretty good reason right there.
You had them all working for you. Defensively, it seemed like you shut down even Avery when he tried certain shots. I'll let you get back to the trophies, Coach. I'll let you go to the trophies. We'll talk to you a little bit later. All right, Dave Bennett, back over to Jim.
The final was 45-35. Pittsfield taking it by 10. Yes, a very low-scoring game, but nonetheless, as high as you can get if you're a Pittsfield Socky.
Well, Pittsfield's got to be very, very happy with the victory. It was a nice win for Pittsfield, the Class A champion, and now one of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to mid-court for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the boys Class A State Basketball Tournament. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the second place team will be Mr. Leroy Newton of Carterville High School, who serves the IHSA as vice president of the board, and Mr. Lawrence Stevens of Winona High School, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, please meet the Fighting Irish of Seneca High School, who finished the season in second place with a final record of 27 wins and 5 losses. First, meet the administrator of Seneca High School, Mr. Rod Engstrom. Head coach, Doug Evans. Assistant coach, Joe Robinson. Assistant coach, Gordy Kirkman. Assistant coach, Kurt Houchin. Team manager, Chris Rees. And now here are the players. Number 3, Chad Esger. Number 5, Greg Punky. Number 12, Dan Matson. Number 20, Aaron Crawford. Number 22, David Punky. Number 24, Guy Sulzberger. Number 30, Steve Erickson. Number 32, Mark Aubrey. Number 34, Steve Reynolds. Number 40, Darren Bedeker. Number 42, Jason Aubrey. Number 44, Jason Burton. Number 50, Brett Larson. Number 52, Sherman Ryder. And Seneca High School Athletic Director Roger Eckert. Those are the Fighting Irish of Seneca High School. And now presenting medallions to the squad members of the first place team will be Mr. Bill Mitz of Monticello High School, who serves the IHSA as secretary of the board, and Mr. Larry Stinson of Aledo High School, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, let's meet the Sockies of Pittsfield High School, who finished the season in first place with a final record of 28 wins and 6 losses. Here's the principal of Pittsfield High School, Mr. Don Mellon. The head coach, David Bennett. Assistant coach, Bruce Everett. Assistant coach, Steve Rylander. And now the players, number 40, Tony Baker. Number 20, Brian Fiesel. Number 54, David Fox. Number 24, David Marable. Number 45, Jamie Sweeting. Number 50, Troy Taylor. Number 14, Josh Townley. Number 12, Greg Scott. Number 10, Doug Wade. Number 30, Jason Smithers. Number 34, Ryan Nevis. Number 52, John Barrowman. Number 32, Jason Thompson. Number 22, Rob Lemons. Number 44, Mike Capps. Number 42, David Ballinger. And number 34, Keith Griffith. Those are the Saukeys of Pittsfield High School. And now for the trophy presentations. Presenting the second place trophy will be Mr. Fred Curtis of Belleville East High School in Belleville, who serves the IHSA as treasurer of the board. Will Coach Doug Evans and captains of Seneca High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Mr. Curtis, if you please. Congratulations to the Fighting Irish of Seneca High School, this year's runner-up in Class A. And now, presenting the first place trophy will be Mr. L.L. Astroff, who serves the IHSA as Executive Secretary. Will Coach David Bennett and the captains of Pittsfield step forward to receive the championship trophy. And there it is to the state champion Pittsfield Saukeys. Congratulations. This announcement for Pittsfield fans, attention Pittsfield fans.
It has been a great year for Pittsfield, and as we've talked about before, this is a team, the only team of the Elite Eight that made it down to Assembly Hall for this boys Class A tournament that had been here last season. And that experience showed. It showed here by picking up the championship trophy. Over the next several minutes, we're going to have opportunities to bring some of the players right into your living rooms and talk with them about what occurred here tonight in the championship game. We'll also have a chance to talk to some former coaches that have been to this championship game, as well as Jim and Greg will be back with us to give us some highlights from video as well as some graphics to update the statistics of today's Class A boys basketball championship game. Then later on, before we close with you this evening, we will review for you the Class AA boys basketball super sectionals and how they line up for this coming weekend. And that, of course, will set the table for next week's boys Class AA basketball championships here on this Assembly Hall floor. This station will be bringing you those live beginning on Thursday afternoon with the Class AA quarterfinals. We'll talk more about that later on. Let's now take a little bit of a break. We'll be back. Well, I say, well, let's go to highlights instead. That's what we'll do. We'll head it over to Jim and Greg and take some highlights out of this championship game. Fellas?
Thank you very much, Joe. 45-35 was our final, leaving Pittsfield got 28-6 on the year, Seneca at 27-5, and it all started like this.
Well, Aubrey from the outside, the shot didn't go. Larson all over the offensive glass, gets a nice easy stick back. Nice play by Larson. Little dribble drive. He's a slasher, a penetrator. Aubrey gets the two-pointer, gets a little hang time too, gets it up on the window, gets the two-pointer. Count the basket for Aubrey. Nice play there by Baker. Baker with a leaner on the baseline. The shot doesn't go. Second chance points, second chance effort right there. Baker gets it up on the glass. Counted for Tony Baker on the inside. Back the other way. Aubrey can stop on a dime. He springs, drills the jumper from outside, and he kept Seneca in the basketball game. There he is one more time. Long range. Aubrey with the three-pointer.
And 26 on the night.
Gets 26 of 35 Seneca points. Who else would you see in the highlight film but Mark Aubrey from the outside?
But the Sockies started working it inside, and that's what won them the state championship.
That's the game right there for Pittsfield. Going inside, they got Baker into the flow on the offensive end, and Baker a big ball game with 15 points. Another look there of Aubrey from the outside. Shot goes up. When things are going your way, you're going to get a shot like that to fall. Aubrey with the basket. Pittsfield patient. Half-court execution was excellent here, especially in the second half. Shot from the outside. Fiesel got the shot there. Baker, a big rebound right there on the defensive glass. It was all Pittsfield in the second half. The baseball pass, the bomb, the receiver, David Fox. Count the two-pointer for David Fox. Fox with the basketball, a good look right there. Baker, he feels it. Give me the basketball, plays with a little confidence in the second half. Gets the twinkle in his eye. Baker knocks down the jumper.
He had 15 points on this winning night, and now standing by with some Seneca players, Joe Passion. Joe?
All right, thank you very much, Jim. With me, head coach Doug Evans, his star player, Mark Aubrey. It was quite a tournament, and I know it never seems right when you only come away with a fourth place trophy, but that medal's got to feel awfully good, Doug, on a great season.
Oh, it's just been a fantastic season. First season started, we had 3 or 4 weeks behind everybody, and we never thought we'd be here, and it was great. Yeah, it's disappointing we didn't get first, but we got a lot to be proud of, and we have a great group of kids that we played for our community, and you know, we're just very fortunate to have such fine young men, and we couldn't be happier.
The second place trophy, I'm sure, means a lot for you, Mark. You seem to be the main guy from the opening tip-off right on through the end. Give us a little indication of what you were trying to do to make things happen for yourself.
Well, I just try and penetrate, or if the shot's there, take it. If I create things, I make things happen, and then they played really good defense tonight. They're a good ball club.
Your teammates were also real helpful in picks, allowing you to get some motion and everything, and for a lot of times it seemed like you were taking the game over.
Yeah, my teammates, I mean, they set some pretty tough screens, and they hit the shots when they're open too. So I mean, we got a good ball club. So does Pittsfield.
Congratulations, guys. Second place in the state. Tremendous season for Seneca. Let's head over to Dick Ludke.
Thank you, Joe. It's the first state championship ever for Pittsfield, and Tony Baker is a happy man. Tony, you guys were here last year, lost in the quarterfinals. How much was that experience worth this weekend?
A lot. You know, we played that one game up here, and I think it really helped us being the only team up here that's played on this floor, and it really helped a lot.
Did you believe this was a possibility at the beginning of the season? Were you thinking in those terms?
I knew we could get back here because we had a lot of experience and great players that really worked hard. And I love every one of them. They worked hard all season, and I knew we'd get here. I didn't know if we'd win the state championship or not, but it's real.
Well, Brian Fiesel had a big part in this championship. Brian, you guys all tired right now?
Yeah, you're always tired. 3 games in 2 days, it takes it out of you.
What about early in the game when Aubrey was hitting everything? Was the confidence still there for you guys, would you say? Was there a low point in this ball game where you wondered whether you could come back?
He's a great player. We had some shots, and they just weren't falling in the first half. So when we were still close, we knew we had a chance.
What about tomorrow? What happens for you guys?
Oh, there's going to be a pep rally when we get back to Pittsfield.
Has it sunk in yet, state championship?
No, it really hasn't sunk in yet.
It does take a little while to digest something like this. The Class A state championship belongs to the Sockies of Pittsfield. Now, let's head back to Joe Passion.
We're coming right here. I'm with Coach Bob Dallas, Ridgeway High School coach. He was the second Class A state champion when the separation of classes began, sandwiching in between St. Lawrence. When you sit up here and you watch the 1991 version, 20 years old now, this tournament, how does it compare back when your Ridgeway team won?
Well, in all fairness, the ball clubs that's up here this year. I didn't think it was near the quality ball clubs this year that I have seen in the past. And I've been here many, many years, and I kind of thought that, overall the ball clubs weren't nearly as strong. I thought McClinsburg had a nice ball club, our representative from down south, but they had a bad half today and got sent home. And of course, they came back tonight. But overall, I didn't think the ball clubs were nearly as tough, seemed like this year, as I've seen in the past.
Bob, would you agree with the assessment of a lot of reporters and fans I've talked to here over the last 3 days, is that this tournament really was a showcase for some great individual stars, but from the team concept, well, there was really one star, and that team won the championship.
Well, that's true. I've never seen a ball game up here in all the years I've been here where late in the game there, if I remember correctly, I looked up there at the scoreboard, and one guy had all but 4 points. Mm-hmm. And I had never seen that before. And I think it turned out that it almost ended that way. He had almost all the ball club's points except maybe 6 or 8. There was not really the individual stars that I have seen in the past up here. I thought we had some good ball players, but I didn't see many Division I ball players up here this year.
Right. One other thing before we let you go, we appreciate your patience, Bob, staying around with us here. When you go back 20 years, you've seen the maturity of the Class A basketball tournament, and if nothing else, maybe it didn't show as much as a lot of people had hoped it would on the court. It certainly showed in the stands. Nearly 50,000 came out over the past 2 days to watch these teams play.
That's true. Yesterday I talked with Dave Fry, and they had like 12,000 yesterday afternoon and 12,000 last night and 11,000 this morning. And, that's great for Class A. I honestly think that there'll be more this weekend than there will be next. I don't know why I say that, but usually is that case.
Well, certainly the small schools bring it down, and I think that's what makes the real magic of this tournament what it is.
Well, that's true. It gives little ball clubs, little towns some publicity that some of the towns up here that you've never heard of, and they're up here playing, it's just great for a small community. Just like our ball club come up here from Ridgeway. No one in the country knew where Ridgeway was then, and now everybody knows.
Coach, congratulations on your great victory back in '73, and glad to have you here with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being with you.
All right, Bob Dallas, the Ridgeway coach, and now let's send it back over to Dick Ludgate.
Well, the state championship trophy in Class A belongs to the Saukees of Pittsfield. David Marable, the man who is holding. Is that a heavy trophy, David?
Yeah.
But you can handle it. You've got strong arms right now.
Yeah.
Well, what does it feel like to be the champion of Class A? What kind of emotions are heading through your mind right at this moment?
Just a dream come true.
Did you think it could come true at the start of this year?
Not to start the season, but after regional play, we started playing our better ball. I knew we could do it.
What was the difference for you in the regional? When did it start to click for you, and why?
We all started playing together, playing better defense, tougher man-to-man. It was all helping each other out.
And you came into this tournament with some tournament experience. You guys had been here last year. How much was that worth to you?
We didn't get caught up in the crowd this year like we did last year. I thought we was pretty calm when we played this year. Last year we just all worried, excited to be here. This year we was pretty calm. We knew we couldn't get caught up in the crowd.
David Marable, one of the champions for Pittsfield, and David Fox is wearing the championship medallion as well. How does it feel, Dave?
It's a dream come true. We wanted it ever since the season started, and we came out and got it, and we're happy.
What kind of reception are you guys going to get back home tomorrow?
Why, an awesome reception.
You're gonna have some fun with that one?
Yeah, we are.
How long does it take for the high to come down after something like this, do you suppose?
Hard tell, probably a week or more.
In the first half, it didn't look as though it would be a high for you, although there was still plenty of time to go. But what were your feelings about what had happened early in this game, and what turned it around for you?
I just blocked that out and just decided to do the second half what I was supposed to be doing, and I just went out and made some shots.
Talk to us about your coach. Coach Bennett has been at Pittsfield for 15 years. He's had tremendous success. 8 years of the last 13 have produced sectional championships for this school. But this year, of course, the brass ring. But what kind of a coach is he?
He's a great coach. He knows what he's talking about, and he just teaches us everything he knows.
He has instilled, it seems, some togetherness. We've seen evidence of that all weekend. You guys are close to one another?
Yeah, we're very close.
And now they have a state championship to celebrate together. The Saukees of Pittsfield win it 45-35 over the Fighting Irish of Seneca. And they are the 1991 Class A state champions. We head back now to Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Dick. Great job over there at center court. Great job by that team. You're surrounded. A lot of the people that came here that picked up the Class A tournament guides and the programs. Very interesting historical background on the Class A boys basketball tournament. In fact, they see him in every program here. The author of many of those stories on the historical background of high school basketball, boys and girls in Illinois, is Scott Johnson. I guess you could just tell Scott is a basketball junkie. He's just more of a library rat than a gym rat. Tell us a little bit about getting the research, and you seem to pour so much of yourself into it. It's got to be a great love story between you and high school basketball.
Yes, it is. It started back when I was in junior high school, and didn't really get into the research aspect of it until about 8 years ago when I lived up in Minnesota. Needed something to do during the winters, and so I spent a lot of time in the microfilm area of the library at the University of Minnesota, trying to find out a few things about Illinois high school basketball.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've learned a lot more than I ever knew about Illinois high school basketball, reading a lot of the research you've been sending me. One of the things that really amazes me is how the first high school basketball organized game in Illinois back in 1895 was a girls' basketball game, and the boys really didn't get going until about 1908 or so.
That's right. In the early days, the boys were more absorbed with football, and the girls didn't have any sports to play, so they took up basketball and organized leagues and games much before the boys did.
3 major dates, 3 years really stand out in my mind from reading your material, Scott, about how the Class A tournament has really evolved. 1935 was the year in which all the small schools were so used to getting blown out in the regionals and in the state tournaments that they made them all play in districts. Small schools play amongst each other to bring more parity. Give us a little background on that.
Well, starting in the late 20s and 30s, the small schools really started to get lower in level than the bigger schools, and there were some really big mismatches. Starting in 1933-34, there were scores like 136-5, and the IHSA decided that they couldn't put up with this anymore, so they decided to divert the small schools into district tournaments. They had to all get into those tournaments, and one team would come out of those and play in the regional tournament.
Right.
And that lasted until 1971.
And of course, 1952 was the big one when that was the Green Giants of Hebron that came out and won the championship and beat all the big schools. That kept the single A going. And of course, 72, it split up into a great group. Scott, great work. We really enjoy your material. Hope you'll stay around with us next weekend for the AA.
I will.
And let's turn it back over to Dick Lutke.
Thank you, Joe. We are with Ruth Bennett, the bride of the state championship coach. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
You're a recent bride, I understand.
Yes, last November.
And being the wife of a basketball coach has its ups and downs, Ruth, as you well know, and you start with a big upper.
Well, yes, it's a lot of stress maybe, but it's a lot of fun, and the boys are great, and so is the coach.
Are the games tougher for you than they are for the coach?
Oh, no, they couldn't be tougher for anybody than they are for him, I don't think, and the boys on the team. But
he takes it home with him, does he?
He tends to take it home with him a little bit, but he watches tapes late after the game, and he may stay up till late in the morning or early in the morning doing stats and kind of unwinding. But
he's been through a lot of seasons and a lot of success, of course, with all of those sectional championships, but now the brass ring. How does he react to something like this? Is he an ecstatic sort of guy after it's all over, or does he sit back and reflect?
He doesn't tend to show emotion. But believe me, he's ecstatic, and this is the ultimate goal, and he's made it, and he deserves it. He's a great coach.
The ecstasy is erupting inside, in other words. We can't see it that much.
Absolutely. It's there.
Ruth, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ruth Bennett, the coach of the championship coach, Pittsfield, the winner of the Class A state title. Back to Joe Passion we go.
All right, Dick, thanks very much. We're very fortunate to have with us as we continue our roller coaster parade of interviews. Linda Young of the Chicago Tribune, of course, covers all sorts of sports, and we see her a lot of high school events. Quickly about the Class A tournament. We keep hearing a lot of people saying this isn't really the level of the competition that they've seen in other great Class A tournaments, but we saw some great individual stars here.
Well, I think that's right. Of course, there wasn't a superstar player like a Brian Sloan or a Mark Davidson here, but there were a lot of great players and a lot of good equal competition, and that's what makes a great tournament, and I think that's what we had.
Now, I know you're going to be here for the Class AA. Over Gordon Tech will take on Libertyville, and at East Aurora, it'll be Hillcrest against Waubonsie Valley. A quick look at that, Linda, your thoughts?
Well, I've seen New Trier. I saw it play probably its best game of the season. It's an up-and-down team, but I expect to see them down here. Hillcrest is a fine team, but Waubonsee Valley, the Little Sevens, having a great season with Waubonsee and Batavia, so I think that's a toss-up.
Out of Southern Illinois, we'll see Collinsville and Carbondale. One of those two could be the Terriers. Collinsville, with their great history, could come back. And, of course, at Hinsdale Central, the great Proviso East team, the team that many think of as the UNLV of high school basketball in Illinois, against a very difficult Thornwood team. I think a team that can give Proviso a lot of trouble.
Oh, I'm sure they can, but Proviso's got too much, I think, for the field this year.
It'll be interesting to find out. Let's finish up here on the AA brackets as we take a look. You talked about the great Batavia team out of the Little Seven. They will take on Prospect at NIU, and then the Chicago Public League Championship will have Marshall against Westinghouse, and that should be a very interesting battle right there. Marshall, an upset winner over King, and then to close out the Sweet 16 at Rockford, it'll be Rock Island against Larkin. At the Peoria Civic Center, Danville against the great Peoria Manual team. That makes for a darn good AA tournament coming up next week.
It always is a darn good AA tournament. So.
Linda, thanks a lot for being here. We appreciate your time. And let's now take this little bit of break. We'll be back to close out our Class A basketball tournament right after this station break from the dairy farmers of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Assembly Hall is empty, but the memories are full, especially for Pittsfield, who wins the Class A state championship 45-35. Those are the ultimate numbers. Let's take a look inside those numbers with Greg Sterick. Greg, let us take a look at the shooting percentages, if we can do that. Is it getting late out here or what? Yeah, we're going to go to the stats right now. Of course, shooting was cold early, but they made up for it later, especially going inside, speaking of Pittsfield.
Well, Pittsfield able to get it inside in the second half. They shoot 47%, 29% for Seneca from the free throw line, 8 of 22 for Pittsfield, only 2 of 3 for Seneca in the rebound department. That was won by Pittsfield also.
We should also mention that this is the lowest scoring game in the history of this tournament as far as total points. 80 points were scored here tonight. That is a record. Now, if you're Pittsfield, you could care less. Of course, if you're Seneca, it'll live with you for a while. But I like the way that Mr. Aubrey responded. When he took his medal, when he accepted the second place trophy, you couldn't tell if he won or lost, and that is the essence of sport. If you can do that, you learned what it's all about.
Well, Seneca players have continued to hang in there in the basketball game, and Mark Aubrey, an outstanding basketball game. He also set a record for the number of shots in a ball game. He was 11 of 35 from the floor, so he had the opportunity to put up 35 shots. And Joe, some of your thoughts on it?
Well, I enjoyed the tournament. I think it was pretty interesting how several people were very honest in their assessments that this wasn't the greatest Class A basketball tournament as far as individual and or team strength, but it made it exciting. What I think really brought this tournament to life was a team that really came to the heart of everybody Friday night, Little Williamsville. Down 15-0 on Friday night early on. They came back, took it into overtime, and I think with that really poured out the hearts of the basketball fans here, and I don't think it really mattered what happened Saturday. Williamsville made this tournament, at least in my mind.
Who's to say the rated should always survive? Who's to say the best should always get here? That's the nature of this tournament, and this year Cinderella danced. We had no rated team in the Final Four, and sure, people are going to say, yeah, the field was weak, but the field that was strong wasn't here. Why? They got knocked off on that one night, and that's what basketball is all about. Give me 5 good minutes or 5 bad minutes, and that's the difference between a winner, a loser, a no-show, and somebody who wins the state tournament.
Well, the two biggest personalities we talked about, Williamsville being what they were Friday night, and Pittsfield really battled through this. I mean, this is a team that was here last year. Their goal for 1 year was to get back here. They did, and they won the whole kabang, and you got to really like them for that.
And I think when you talk about the ball clubs, you don't talk about how the ball clubs arrive, you talk about how they leave. And Pittsfield's going to leave as the state champion, and Seneca's going to be second, and McLeansboro third, and Williamsville's going to be fourth. Those are the ball clubs you're going to talk about. You talk about the ones as they leave, not how they arrive.
But Mark Aubrey leaves with his head held high. You referred to it, Jim, and he went out in a very classy manner as a participant for the second best team in the state.
Of course, he did not break the all-time tournament record scoring-wise because you need a bionic arm to do that to beat Mr. Scheidler's mark, but he still won this tournament scoring mark as well.
All right, well, here it is. We wrap it out from Greg to Dick to Jim. I'm Joe. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back next week for the Class A basketball tournament starting on Thursday afternoon. Have a great week, folks. So long from Assembly Hall.
This tournament telecast has been brought to you by, for more than 20 years, Country Companies Insurance. You've got the country behind you. The dairy farmers of Illinois and Wisconsin remind you to enjoy real dairy products. Look for the real seal in your grocer's dairy case. And the Toyota dealers of Illinois. I love what you do for me, Toyota.